Natasha. It is time for MomFit Moments. It is a little bit later than expected, but that happens when you have kids, as all you other mamas know. So we're gonna wait just a couple minutes to see if anybody joins us before I get started with MomFit Moments. But no worries, if you don't make it on time, we will leave this posted and we'll be putting it up on YouTube within the next few weeks. So I did just get a little message here that I have low internet connection, so if I do pause and stuff, I apologize. I'm just gonna keep talking. Maybe I'll pause if I see I've lost connection and start back up when it comes up, but heads up on that. Okay, so while I'm waiting a couple minutes to see if anybody is gonna tune in this week, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the challenge I just posted, as in like 30 seconds ago. The challenge starts tomorrow. It is an anti-anxiety, anti-stress challenge. It's something that myself and Melissa have talked about doing a couple times with what happened the past couple weeks for us. I guess it's been 3 weeks now. No, Mommy doesn't need coffee, thank you. Also, be prepared that I will be interrupted by little Miss Lorana quite a few times during this video. The anti-anxiety de-stress challenge is going to be just a 14-day challenge, so it's going to last about 2 weeks. The information is posted on our Facebook group, MomFit Challenge group. If you're not part of it yet, head there and request an invite, and we will take a look and accept you in there so you can get access to all of our challenges first. You'll also see MomFit Moments first. We also have a lot of other community building type activities in the group. So as for this anti-anxiety challenge, it's just 14 different ideas or different ways to kind of help you de-stress and let go of some of that anxiety that we tend to hold as moms, because we get really tense, we're really busy, and we hold that in. And yes, Mother's Day is a great day to kind of unwind. It's also a great day to spend extra time with your kids if you're a working mom or stay-at-home mom. Like, just because I stay home doesn't mean I have a ton of extra time for my kids. So I like to take Mother's Day to really do some bonding activities with my kids, which means I'm not really getting a day off and de-stressing a ton, depending on what we have planned. So this is kind of goes along with Mother's Day. It supports that concept of mom taking a minute to chill and relax. So you can go through these and just each day take some time to do one thing. Now, if you want and you find something that really works for you or helps you, makes you feel better, add it on to the next day. Like, day one is to get hydrated. If you find that drinking more water makes you not so tense or irritable, then drink more water the next day and keep it up. And you don't need to stop just because it's not on that specific day. At the end of the challenge, I want you guys to reflect and really think about what thing on that list really made you feel good, so you can try and incorporate that into your day-to-day life. And if day-to-day life is too much, then twice a week or once a week, so you're at least taking some time for you to de-stress and get some of that anxiety out. All right, so now that we've talked about the challenge, let's get on to our MomFit Moments episode that I told you guys we were gonna talk about. So, as you guys know, the last 3 weeks have been a little, I don't know if I'd say rocky, but difficult for MomFit. Both myself and Melissa have gone through some big life-changing events. So, as crazy as it is that our lives happen to go through what they did at the same time, we are both on the complete opposite ends of the spectrum. I experienced a death experience, and she experienced a life experience, as in bringing in a new life into this world, and I lost someone. So we're both dealing with this over the past, it's been 3 weeks now, about a month, and it really took away a lot of the time that we had for MomFit. I am worried you guys can't hear me. Are you done taking all of that food out now? She wants to play right by Mommy. She likes to be right by me and make the most noise when I'm talking. Okay, so before the All right, so the death in my family was very sudden. We weren't prepared for it. It's not like, you know, someone of old age, you know, they're sick, you know, their time to pass is coming. It wasn't like that at all. It was very sudden. So all of the plans that we had in place for MomFit really fell off of the timeline for me. So I was planning on doing MomFit moments every week. I did one episode, and then the week after that first episode, before we could get the second episode done, is when the I don't want to say death started necessarily. The events started happening. I don't know, however you want to word it. And then there were a couple of other things that I scheduled to happen, like the Wacky Wednesdays and Sunday, like Relax and Recharge, these kinds of things. I was really hoping to be involved with you guys with and respond to your comments and kind of help encourage. That's wine. Try and help encourage communication and community in the group. But when I went out to Utah, once the process of events started, I really let go of social media. It wasn't just social media, like my phone, period, was really not what I was paying attention to. It wasn't what my mind was on, unless someone was calling me to give me the update on what was happening. So my phone was really just open for phone calls and text messages to find out what was going on with my dad at the time. So the loss was my dad. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of the story about what happened, because I haven't really shared that with you guys. And then we'll talk a little bit about what Melissa's been going through, and I do want to hear from you guys if you're watching, because she would love some encouraging words and some new mommy tips, as all mommies do. So if you have any of those, if you don't make it during the live video and you're not able to like write it out so she can see it, or so that I can say it during the video, that's fine. Leave it in the comments and I'm sure that we'll get to it. And she'll end up seeing it because she sees all the comments. Okay. So what happened was, my dad was at work and ended up having some chest pain, and the ambulance was called and he went to the doctor. He didn't have a heart attack. They couldn't figure out what the problem was, but his chest pain wasn't going away. So they gave him a scan, and right away the doctor said he needed to be life flighted to a hospital that could take him into surgery, because he needed to have open heart surgery. He had an aortic dissection, which means his aorta kind of burst or tore. And your aorta is the main artery that supplies blood from your heart to your body. So he was taken up to the hospital and taken into surgery. We found this out on Thursday, about 4 weeks ago. I guess that's when when he went to the hospital. He had the surgery. It was a 7-hour surgery. It was pretty tough waiting for the updates. They updated us every 3 hours. It was a very long night, very long day. He came out of surgery about 2 a.m. on Friday morning. His heart was very weak, and so they weren't able to close him up because his heart couldn't beat on his own, and he was put on a ventilator, and we waited to see how he would progress. For the most part, the surgery was successful. They were able to repair his heart and the veins and the bicuspid valve that he had, which they didn't know he had in the first place. To make sure all of that was a success. So Friday, he kind of just, slept through. His body went through a lot of trauma. And then Saturday, they said he's not awake yet. He could be, not necessarily that he should be awake. Some patients take a little bit longer. His body did go through a lot. His heart was under a lot of stress. So don't be too concerned that he's not awake. Well, by Sunday, he still wasn't awake. I was still in Ohio. I wasn't sure if I was going to go out yet. At this point, I was thinking maybe I'm going to go out to help him with his recovery, because an aortic dissection, it's a life-changing surgery. It's a life-changing event that happens. His life will never be the same again. Sunday, they said he started having seizures. They noticed he was having a seizure about every hour. So they connected him to EEGs, I think, to kind of try and track his brain activity to find out why he was having seizures. and what was going on. It came back inconclusive, so they decided to keep him on it for a 24-hour monitoring. So Monday morning, and then he was supposed to go into surgery Monday morning after they got the information from the head tests so that they could close him up and see if his heart was strong enough to beat on its own. Well, Monday morning, the test came back inconclusive again after the 24-hour test. They said he was hyperreflexive, which is a sign of paralysis. So we were thinking, you know, he's never going to be the same. This is going to be pretty life-changing, so we're definitely going to go out for his recovery. As much as I wanted to see him in the hospital, he still wasn't awake. He was in a coma at this point. And, you know, for me to take my whole family out there is a really big move on our part. Like, to just let everything go and head out to Utah. So Tuesday, they decided that they were going to give him, they were able to close him up. His heart was strong enough to be on his own. And so they took him for an MRI on Tuesday. The results came back and they weren't good. They found that he had had hundreds of strokes in his brain, causing a lot of permanent brain damage that was irreversible. So he lost, you know, the areas of his brain for personality, for memory, recognition, speech, movement. You know, like, I saw the scans. It was crazy. There was not a lot of brain not touched by a stroke. So even if there were like small areas that weren't, because the strokes were white on the scan and the brain was gray, so the areas of the scan that weren't bright white were very minimal, and there was at least like a piece of white like touching it. So it was just like a fireworks show happened in his brain. So as the family, we had to make the choice to keep him on a ventilator because he would not wake up. At this point, the doctor said the probability of him waking up was slim to none. If he did, there was no timeline on when it would be. And if he did, he couldn't see. He was also determined to be blind. He wouldn't be able to move. He wouldn't be able to talk. You know, all this stuff I already said. So he was just going to, like, lay there forever. So going off of what he had let us know during his life, he did not want to live that way. He didn't want to put his family through that. So we decided to let him go. So Tuesday, when we got this information about like the strokes and it wasn't looking good, we headed out to Utah. We packed up, not even 24 hours. Once the kids were out of school, got in the car and drove to Utah. Made that very long 26 to 30 hour drive out there. We got into Utah and things just started progressing really fast. We were able to go to the hospital and visit my dad before he passed, before they like took him off the ventilation and stuff to say our last goodbyes. They took him off the ventilation and then he died before midnight, like right before midnight on the Thursday that we got there. And then following that, you know, funeral arrangements, family stuff, you know, boom, 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 boom. So I was out for those 2 weeks taking care of all of that jazz that happens with death, I guess. So now we're home. I'm really trying to jump back into MomFit, back into workouts, back into a healthy lifestyle, which is really hard because I want to eat carbs all the time because they make me feel happy, even if it's only for a little bit. But I would say I'm doing a pretty good job with my willpower and not totally overindulging in stress eating. I'm drinking a lot of water so that if I do feel like eating carbs, I know I'm not hungry, and I'm trying to keep myself full on proteins, which helps. It does a lot. Also, what helps is not buying the carbs. Like, usually if I'm eating them, it's because someone's bringing them to me. Like, hey, oh, you're sad, eat some pie. And then I eat it. But I'm not buying it, and it makes it easier not to eat it all the time. So I'm really trying to jump back in and do everything for you guys that was previously promised, like making it to tonight's MomFit Moments episode. Yay! Now, as for Melissa, while I was gone in Utah, she had her baby. Yay! Congratulations. So she had a little bit of a difficult delivery. Now this is stuff for her to share, not for me to share, so I'm just gonna let you guys know that it's been a little rough for her and her family the past few weeks. I have been able to go visit her. I mean, she is doing okay now. Today she is doing much better, which is good news, so we should be seeing and hearing from her very soon, I hope. She does send hellos to everybody, and she can't wait to, you know, jump back in and see you guys and start getting back on track. But it's going to be a little bit before we hear from her, probably, because she has her hands full with a new itty bitty little baby, and oh my goodness, you guys, he is so stinking cute. He's like all curly and I love it. So at this point, if anybody had joined, I would ask you guys for some new mommy advice, but we don't have anyone here. I do know a couple of you have reached out to Melissa and sent prayers to her and let her know that make sure you rest. Rest is very important. When baby naps, you nap, and it doesn't make you a lazy mama, and it doesn't mean you're bad. Just nap, because we all have been there. And if you don't nap, you won't sleep. So sleep in the day. It doesn't matter if it's noon or 4 in the afternoon. Just sleep when the baby sleeps. For me, the advice that I want to give you, Melissa, is take the help. When you have a baby, everyone wants to help you. Everyone wants to do stuff for you. And you think that they're just being nice. Some of them might be. I don't know. But say yes. Because if you don't, you're going to be overwhelmed and it's all going to be on you. Accept the help. Yes, take the baby to the park. Yes, do whatever. Yes, dinner, because this is the only chance you have to get that help. And it's so nice as a new mama to have that. So take people up on their offers and take some time for you, because you went through major changes in your body. You delivered a human being into this world, which is amazing. So take a minute and let someone else just do what they need to for you. I guess that's it for MomFit Moments today. I hope to see you guys next week. I really hope to be on time next week. I shouldn't be double booked, and things are really starting to settle since we've been back in Utah. We're getting back into our routine. So I guess that's it. I hope everybody has a great night, and don't get sunburnt like me. Look at this. I was out in the garden today. Yeah. Not very long either. In early morning. Didn't think this was going to happen. It happened, and it's starting to get sore, so that's not good. Everybody, have a good night, and I will see you guys next week or Monday for our Monday motivation video that I give to you guys in the group. Have a good night.